So, unless you haven't been on the internet for the past week or so, you would have known that the Apple event happened on the 14th of September and it was announced on the 7th of September. And, well, yeah, it's an Apple event. The whole internet went crazy over it, Oh my god, a new iPhone. No way, there's gonna be so many cool new features. No. If you looked at the leaks, there wasn't actually that many cool features expected. Yeah, everyone still got annoyed there wasn't a lot of cool new features to the iPhone this year. Why? You look at the leaks, there wasn't anything pointing towards a lot of these cool new features. There were a few cool new features pointed towards in the leaks that she never got. There was a few always people were like, oh yeah, where was my always on display? Or, oh yeah, where's my 500Hz screen? No, but these things were never pointed to in the leaks. Over, actually, yes, we did get a 120Hz screen on the iPhone. Finally, Apple. I can't wait to get my hands on that 120Hz screen on the iPhone. It's so smooth on my monitor and on my iPad. Other than that, with the new iPhone, people complaining, oh, we didn't get what Apple were rumored and everything. We got quite a lot of cool new features and we got quite a lot of cool new things at the Apple event this year. I'm just making this quick little video to break down everything that we got on the event and what my thoughts are on it. And yes, I will be getting an iPhone 13 Pro soon, so do expect a review on it coming maybe the end of October or something. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Yoni, I'm a self-taught web developer, and today I'm going to be breaking down the latest Apple event that just happened the other day. So let's start off with the beginning of the event. The beginning of the event started off with this amazing music montage all over California made by Apple with all these amazing noises and everything. Yes, I just said noises, I meant to say instruments. But the event really started off amazingly with all these instruments and everything. It sounded really nice and it sounded really harmonized. It definitely felt really nice and relaxing to listen to and watch. The first announcement made was Apple TV Plus stuff, but I didn't really listen to that bit. I took one note saying Apple say they're making new shows. That's it. As I'm not really that interested in it. And yes, I still haven't watched Ted Lasso, and yes, I am planning on watching it. Please no spoilers. So let's start with the base model iPad, the first proper product announcement of the event. The base model iPad went from an A12, I think, to an A13. I know it's an A13 it went to, not sure what it was before. It got center stage, which was originally only on a Pro. This is going to be a really cool feature to have on the base model now, which means it's going to be an entire iPad lineup once the Air gets an update, which is really cool and exciting. Also got a 12 megapixel front camera, and even finally got True Tone on the base model iPad now, which is just really cool. And even cooler, Apple kept it the exact same price, $329, but technically it's cheaper than before. So that's now 64GB of storage instead of 32GB of storage for that price, which is really cool, Apple. Like, Apple don't normally do stuff like that where it's cheaper but better. The iPad mini, probably the coolest announcement of the entire event, the bit everyone wanted to see. The iPad mini was probably one of the coolest announcements of this event. The iPad mini is now an iPad Air mini. It got rid of the home button of yesteryear and placed Touch ID in a power button, and it's so much more like an iPad Air now. Just imagine an iPad Air but smaller. Like, yeah, if I take out my iPad Pro, iPad Air 28, this is iPad Pro 2018 is very similar to the latest iPad Air, whatever year it came out in. They're very similar, except for this, literally the Face ID and scanning, don't know English, Touch ID sensor. Other than that, these are pretty similar. Just imagine this, but a bit smaller. That's basically the latest iPad mini, and it comes in multiple colours. It's also got stereo channels, which is actually better than the iPad Air. Even the iPad Air has stereo speakers, so this is going to be a really cool iPad, and I'm still debating whether or not I should get one soon. It's like £500, so they did end up charging more, but I'm pretty sure it's less storage now for the same price. Oh, and by the way, for specs, it went from an A12 chip, which is old, like not so old, but old, to an A15 chip, which is a pretty big increase there. Like, Apple said 50% faster speed. I don't know, Apple always going about rambling about their latest chip, more on that soon. And obviously all day battery life, but Apple said everything. Apparently probably the iPhone 2G, don't remember, but wasn't even born yet. I think I was born like 3 days after that. But the iPhone 2G, when it was announced, Apple was like, oh yeah, probably all day battery life. You know, the iPhone 2G event, you know the event. Roll the clip.
Today, we're introducing 3 revolutionary products of this class. The first one is a widescreen iPod with touch controls. The second is a revolutionary mobile phone. And the third is a breakthrough internet communications device. So, three things: a widescreen iPod with touch controls, a revolutionary mobile phone, and a breakthrough internet communications device. An iPod, a phone, and an internet communicator. An iPod, a phone. Are you getting it? These are not three separate devices. This is one device. And we are calling it iPhone.
Well, it's got an 8.3-inch screen, 500 nits of brightness, and True Tone, and the best feature of all, USB-C. You know what's funny? How in this part, Apple was like, oh yeah, USB-C is so much faster than Lightning, so much better than Lightning, boo, we hate Lightning. Literally, and now also later, here are our latest iPhones. They purposely don't show the Lightning port on the iPhones. They haven't mentioned anything about USB-C, so it's probably still Lightning. They purposely did not show the Lightning port on the iPhones in the entire advertisement in the event. What a scam. Oh, and also the iPad mini does have good cameras now, but come on, who takes pictures of their iPad? The Apple Watch was one of the biggest, most leaked thing this year. And all the leaks, well, those are true. If anything, the Apple Watch actually got more round than flat. The leaks for the Apple Watch was that the Apple Watch was supposed to become more flat like the iPhones. In fact, don't actually own an iPhone 12 lineup, so we're gonna have to give off my old iPhone 4 that is sadly crap. But the new iPhones looked more like this. Not iPhones, Apple Watches, more like this, like the new iPhone 12, as they rumored to be like this instead of the current square design that they are like rounded, like the iPhone 11 Pro series and that type of series are supposed to be more like that. But what ended up happening was, it was all the same features as last year. They didn't even mention a new chip, which makes us believe that that's probably not a new chip. All they mentioned was, oh yeah, look at the screen, it's a bit bigger, we shaved the bezels a bit. Oh yeah, the screen now goes around the edges, but it doesn't. No point of upgrading, in my opinion, unless you're on a Series 3. And speaking of Series 3, Apple is still selling a Series 3 at $200 there. Why? I don't know. The Series 3 was a good watch when it came out, but now that we have the Series 7, it's over 3 generation increase. The Series 3 is quite bad to buy in my opinion these days. Why don't they make it like the Series 6 or Series 5 or Series 4? The Series 4 actually still a pretty good watch, even though it's 3 generations old now. Wait, 3? Wait, yeah, 3 generations old now. It's still an amazing and powerful watch, which is so much faster than the Series 3. As the speed increase from 3 to the 4 so much. Hello, future Yoni here as I'm editing this. Yes, that is The Simpsons, but I was watching before. But what we've heard about the Apple Watch is that apparently Apple had some weird thing where they had some weird supply chain issues, and they had to basically cancel this type of generation of the Apple Watch, and they had to go back to like the old design, kind of like a last minute thing. And the rumors are it's been re-recorded, the whole event and everything. I'll leave a link in the description about a whole video going on about this, but really weird what's happened because of from leaks you've heard about Apple having these issues of design and everything. It wouldn't make sense unless they were changing design like they were rumored to be. So you have to watch the video in the description if you want to get a full like understanding of what's going on with the Apple Watch and everything. Although according to Apple, they put their latest crack-proof technology on the Apple Watch. Probably not crack-proof, but apparently it's supposed to be better at resisting falls and stuff. You can also now do automatic detection of bike workouts, automatic pausing on bike workouts, and also full detection of bike workouts, which is pretty cool. Also 7% brighter indoors and always on display, which is cool, but I'd much rather that apply outside, so I guess I have to wait and see what the reviewers say if it's brighter outside or not, as I am probably not going to get one, as my Series 5 still works fine. Even though I've got a tiny little deep scratch in it, which is a bit annoying. I'm like too scared to like go swimming with it and stuff, but I'm not bothering spending all that money to get a new watch. It's not worth it this year. Also, the watch is now IP68X resistant, I think they said, or IP6X resistant, I don't know. All I know is that it's better for water resistance now this year. I think it was like half a meter to 50 meters something. No, I don't know, it's better for water resistance this year, and the dust resistance has also got better. Oh, and guess what, Apple still won't switch to USB-C on your iPhones, but it now includes a USB-C to whatever the Apple Watch charger is, I don't know what it's called, on the box of the Apple Watch. Like, I kind of get they're doing that slowly, transitioning everything so you have USB-C to Lightning, so you have USB-C plugs around. But why not just make the switch on your iPhone too? It's honestly ridiculous that Apple still haven't switched to USB-C on your iPhone at this point. Apple are literally one of the greatest companies to pursue USB-C. They're one of the only companies that took away every single port on their laptop because they believe in USB-C, yet they stubbornly stick to Lightning on their phones. It just doesn't make sense why they're doing this. And now to the big news, the iPhone. The iPhone this year finally, and I mean finally, got a 25% smaller notch. It's not a big difference, and what we've seen so far, you still can't even see the battery percentage in the status bar, even though it could fit that there. But it probably looks so much nicer in real life, compared to marketing material it looks nicer. Do keep in mind though, marketing material obviously going to make it look nicer than it is in real life. But I'm really excited to get a smaller notch, even though it doesn't look that cool, but it does look cool. I know, I'm just really excited to get my hands on this soon. So, everyone may have heard last year, oh, the iPhone 12 mini, it isn't selling too well, Apple are going to get rid of it next year. I mean, there are thousands of articles, there are thousands of articles all over here, hundreds of articles saying, iPhone 12 mini isn't doing well, Apple are going to get rid of it next year. Well, surprise, Apple did an iPhone 13 mini, and I saw that coming, as Apple liked the mini, I think, and it's more common when people actually think the mini. So I'm glad they kept the mini around, not for someone like me, but other people do love the mini form factor, and the fact is, the mini phone is really good. So anyways, the iPhone 13 and 13 mini both got a better glass, according to Apple, but every year it's better glass. Still cracks though, as Jerry Rig everything says, glass is glass, and glass will always crack. I can't do a very good Jerry Rig everything impression, can I? This year, they also put diagonal cameras on the phone. They claimed because they put the same sensor from the iPhone 12 Pro Max onto this phone. Like the new technology of that, I forgot what it was, but they added that. But everyone on Twitter seems to think it's just to show off the latest iPhone, and to be honest, that wouldn't be bad. Like, that makes sense, Apple would do that. But you never know, they could actually have run out of space in that tiny logo bomb and they have to put diagonal, but don't have a fan of it being diagonal. The phone also has an 800 peak brightness, and I think they said a 20% higher brightness, or was it 1000 nits? I don't remember, but it's a higher brightness, 28% increase than the previous model of the peak brightness. Maybe it was 1200, they said. No, that seems way too high. I don't know, but it's 28% higher, it's all I know for sure. Alright, so I'm not going to be talking about the details of the camera. If you want to, I'm sure there's hundreds of other videos on YouTube you can check out. What I'm going to be talking about is how impressive these cameras look from this material so far. Apple introduced this latest thing called cinematic mode. Now this cinematic mode, this mode looks crazy. What's happening is when you're filming, so for example, if you ever seen a film and you might have the main character in 4 shots such as me, and then the background is kind of blurred, and then I would turn and I would go out of frame and the background would become less blurred and I'd become blurred over here on my cheek. That sometimes happens in the films, you see. It's a very typical effect they use in films and stuff. Well, Apple somehow brought this to your phone as cinematic mode, and from what we saw, now obviously there could have been editing involved, we don't know, but from what we saw, this mode looks insane, and if this mode is real, I'm so excited to get my hands on this and start filming B-roll and stuff like this, as this looks really cool. As if you don't know, I do use my iPhone to record these videos and everything, and I'm really excited as this just look amazing.
For more creative control, you can tap to shift focus at any time. Tap again to lock and track focus on the subject.
Also, I heard a couple people theorizing the way this works is that it uses the same kind of technology as Center Stage to detect focus and stuff from subjects, and that would actually make a lot of sense to me. If they didn't say it, but I had a few people saying it, and I feel like that would actually make a lot of sense, because they'd probably have to change a bit of the code and stuff, but it seems to be like a very similar type of tech and everything. The changing focus and people and all of that stuff. Also, like every company in 2020, 2021 and probably onwards for the next 5 years, Apple went 5G shell out yet again this year. Ooh, look at us, we got the latest 5G. The 5G with really fast download speeds. Oh, but if you put your hand in front of it, your phone won't work with that speed. It'll be at 4G again. In fact, you may even be slower than 4G sometimes. That is generally my thoughts on 5G. 5G sucks right now, and it's only okay in like this small little part of New York, when if you turn your back around, then it's not going to work, the 5G. In fact, there's hundreds of videos online showing 5G, it's not ready yet. 5G just isn't as fast as people claim it is. Well, it is, but it also isn't, because everything blocks it. It's how the waves work and everything. If I place my hand over here and a 5G tower over here, my phone's over here, my phone's not going to get 5G that fast. In fact, it may be slower than 4G, so I'm really not excited for 5G currently. And in fact, I just want these companies to stop shutting up. Not stop, I want these companies to shut up about 5G when their phone's like, oh yeah, we got the latest 5G, how cool is that? No one cares, 5G isn't good yet, and please go away. I'm sticking with 4G for now. I'm not upgrading to 5G anytime soon. Apple did boast 1.5 hours more on the iPhone 13 mini and 2.5 hours more battery life on the iPhone 13 itself, but they also boast the exact same specs, the iPhone 13 Pros and the 13 Pro Max, and I don't get how they could achieve that on the 13 Pro and the 13 Pro Max, and you've also got a 120Hz screen now, even though it can like change depending on if you're scrolling or not. I don't think those battery measurements are real, because of Apple always like, oh yeah, all day battery life, but iPhone 12 mini, most people did not get all day on that, or iPhone SE too. No one got all day on that. Very rare, very few people did, unless they were literally not using their phone all day. So I take these battery measurements with a grain of salt, but if they are real, that's gonna be really cool. As my iPhone 11 Pro Max, I've had it for like 2 years, not max. My iPhone 11 Pros, I've had it for like 2 years now. It's just because I charge it every night, typically on a wireless charger, and I sometimes fast charge it. It's only 84% capacity left, and my iPhone X is only 83%. That's 1% difference. And my 11 Pro Max just, I can't make it through half the day without it wanting to die on me, which is really annoying. Now to the A15 chip. No, I'm not going to go into any detail about the chip. You know why? So I'm sure you all already know what Apple said. They say what they said every year. Just introducing Apple's latest and greatest newest chip, the A insert name here. This chip is 50% faster than the previous one, 80% faster than any other smartphone manufacturer. This time it's faster than that, with terrible graphs and all of that. So they said that basically, 50% faster than any other smartphone. They didn't say how fast it was compared to their previous chip. And they're claiming that companies are still playing catch up to their phones from 2 years ago. Although, of what I've seen, I don't think companies are still playing catch up, Apple. I think you're slightly ahead there, but it's honestly, I don't like the way Apple described their chips in the event. It's just like, oh yeah, we're faster than last year. Yeah, but we're not going to give you any actual proof of anything. We're not going to give you any graphs or anything to show realistic results. I still hate the way they do it every year. So, editing me yet again, hello there. So you can see I'm not watching The Simpsons this time. I wasn't watching it before, I just had it open on the other screen, I swear. I'm not procrastinating. But anyways, as I was just saying in the videos you heard, I was talking about the new chips and everything. Rumour has it that this year, Apple's chips, yeah, there's not any increase at all, barely. The only increase we noticed was a bit of an actual good GPU increase, but the CPU, in general, what we heard from this year, did not increase at all, like nothing. Like no way near good CPU increase. So I'm going to leave a video yet again, a link to that in the description down below, and this whole A15 breaking it down and the future of Apple Silicon in general. The prices are $699 for the 13 mini, $799 for the 13 itself. Although instead of starting at 64, they now start at 128 gigs. You can also go up to 512 gigabytes now, which is a nice upgrade, I'll be honest. Oh, and also I almost forgot the blue color on the 13 mini and the 13 itself got an overdo, and in my opinion it looks so much better than the previous blue color. Now onto the 13 Pro. The 13 Pro this year was the upgrade we were all so excited for, even though there wasn't any leaks about it. But to be honest, the only thing I'm actually excited for about it was, well, the new cameras, of course. So cameras actually look so much better than normal. Like recently, like the other day, I was on my mum's XS Max and I was like, wow, these cameras are good, but are terrible compared to the 11 Pro. When I was looking at my sister's 12 Pro and I was like, wow, these cameras are so much better than my 11 Pro. Recently, Apple have just been like, each year the cameras, like, it used to be like camera improvement each year, camera improvement each year. Now it's just like each year, like it went this insane this year compared to last year. Imagine next year how much better it's going to be. Like in 10 years from now, these cameras are going to be pretty good considering what we saw in this event. The cameras we got this year just looks crazy. We also did get the new color, something blue, I don't remember, but that blue color looked really nice, and I'm thinking about getting that blue color probably. As you know, I'm a bit bored of my silver phone from 2 years of use, and 2 years before that one I had the black phone, which was black, so you know, I like to spruce up the colors every time I get a new phone. You know, it's a bit boring to do it to the same colors over and over again. Let's say name is MKBHD and everything's gonna be matte black and red. The 120Hz screen on the iPhone 13 Pro is kind of like the 120Hz, not 120Hz, the 60Hz screen we have on the Apple Watch. The LPTO technology, I think it was that, how it can basically adjust the refresh rate of the screen depending on what's going on. So like the Apple Watch, when you're not looking at it, it's on always on mode. It actually goes to 1 frames per second, but when you're actually looking at it, using it, it actually goes to 60 frames per second. So when you're going to be scrolling on your iPhone 13 Pro, these are only on the Pro models by the way, you're going to be able to have 120Hz. But for example, if you're watching a video in 24 FPS, it's only going to be in 24Hz. So in theory, this should actually give you better battery life when you're not scrolling and stuff. So I could actually see now how Apple's claims about 1.5 hours more on the 13 Pro and 2.5 hours more on the 13 Pro Max will actually come to fruition and everything. Oh, and you can also get 1 TB of storage on your iPhone because you can shoot ProRes video now, which is pretty crazy as your iPhone's going to run out of space in 5 minutes. On the 128GB version of your iPhone, Apple won't even let you record ProRes video, and on the higher versions that Apple only let you record at 1080p, otherwise you'll run out of storage so fast that's in 4K. Well, a shame it can't be in 4K, as that would probably look amazing. So that's basically it, my thoughts on the whole Apple event, and I didn't go into detail about the cameras and all of the chip and all of that stuff. I'm going to go into details. There are hundreds of other videos you can watch online. This video was just my thoughts and what I was excited for. And yes, there will be an iPhone 13 Pro or Pro Max, which I don't know which one I'm going to get yet, coming out soon, hopefully the end of October. So make sure to look forward to that. If you enjoyed this video, then I'm sure you'll love my previous video where I walk you through exactly what is on my master desk. Thank you for watching and see you later. Oh, and the joke is my desk isn't actually a master desk, I just wanted to say that as a joke.